Government corruption has never been more prevalent or caused more harm. It's why extremism is on the rise. It's why the financial gap between the haves and have-nots has never been wider. And it's why our planet is at risk of an extinction level tragedy. That's why I need your help to keep exposing the truth about the rot on both sides of the aisle. Become a supporter or a friend of the show today by clicking on the coffee link in the description box below. Friends of the show join me on a Zoom hangout once a month, and you guys can ask me any questions you want, and I can get to know you better. But the most important reason to help is to keep the show alive. Together, we can and will save our country and our planet. Thanks in advance and enjoy the show. Everyone, welcome to the show. So the January 6th committee continues to slowly leak little key facts and portions of recorded depositions with witnesses. And the latest one completely destroys the right wing's talking point about January 6th that, oh, this was all the Democrats' fault, that Trump wanted troops there. I'm sure you guys have heard it at some point. You've heard it or you've read it somewhere, this asinine comment about how Trump ordered 10,000 National Guard troops to be activated, but they claim that Nancy Pelosi turned it down and or DC Mayor Muriel Bowser. Well, that was a lie. Like everything else that Trump says, it was a lie. And he wasn't the only one who was saying it, because his chief of staff, Mark Meadows, was out there repeating this lie, as well as many other Trump officials and then right-wing actors who pose as news hosts. In his recorded sworn deposition, Trump's acting defense secretary, Chris Miller, confirmed that this is a lie. So that is what the January 6th committee has now leaked, is his recorded closed-door testimony. Take a listen to what he said.
February 2021, Mark Meadows said on Fox News that, quote, even in January, that was a given. As many as 10,000 National Guard troops were told to be on the ready by the Secretary of Defense. Is there any accuracy to that statement?
I'm not from my perspective. I was never given any direction or order or knew of any plans of that nature. So I was surprised by seeing that publicly, but I don't know the context or even where it was. No, there was no. We obviously had plans for activating more folks, but that was not anything more than contingency planning. There was no official message traffic or anything of that nature. Regarding.
So just so we're clear, you did not have 10,000 troops, quote, to be on the ready for January 6th, prior to January 6th.
A non-military person probably could have some sort of weird interpretation, but no, to answer your question, no, that was not part of my plan or the Department of Defense's plan.
And just that the rest of his statement was, quote, that was a direct order from President Trump, and yet here is what we see, all kinds of blame going around, but not a whole lot of accountability. And to be crystal clear, there was no direct order from President Trump to put 10,000 troops to be on the ready for January 6th, correct?
No. Yeah, that's correct. There was no order from the president.
So hopefully you guys could make everything out. But the key sentence in that exchange was, quote, that's correct. There was no order from the president. So there it is. I mean, we can't really blame Trump supporters for believing this lie, because Miller himself also lied. He made this claim himself in an interview with Sean Hannity. In fact, he had appeared on Sean Hannity's show in June, and he claimed that Trump asked for 20,000 National Guardsmen to be, quote, at the ready. Trump's Pentagon chief of staff was also on the show at the same time, Kash Patel, and he reiterated what Miller said. He said he was in the room and he heard this. And then Hannity asked both of them, quote, both of you said this under oath and under the threat of penalty of perjury to the committee? And Miller replied, quote, oh, absolutely, Sean. So when Miller is on a right-wing fantasy TV show, otherwise known as Fox News, he tells one story. But when he's actually under oath and at risk of criminal prosecution, he tells a completely different story. I wonder which version is the truth. And the thing is that there were other Pentagon members who refuted this fairy tale about the National Guard troops. Pentagon spokesman John Kirby agreed with Miller's under oath version of events. He told the Washington Post that there was, quote, no record of such an order being given. And here's the thing. We didn't even have to hear Miller's recorded testimony to know that this was bullshit. Because think about it. According to everyone who was in the White House on January 6th, and according to phone records, Trump did nothing while the Capitol was under attack. He contacted no one other than Rudy Giuliani. So are we to believe that a narcissist, wannabe dictator like Donald Trump would just sit around and do nothing if the military failed or refused to follow his orders that day? If Trump had ordered 10 to 20,000 National Guardsmen to, quote, be at the ready, and this was, let's say, a BLM event, and then the military, the National Guard, just never showed up, would he have not been on the phone screaming and cursing at everyone and anyone? He would have lost his freaking mind. He would have probably driven to the Pentagon himself. The fact that every single military leader and White House staffer has confirmed that Trump never asked for military or law enforcement to be contacted that day, he never himself reached out to anyone, tells you that this was a well-orchestrated lie that they came up with after the fact, and they started pushing it, all of his allies, to cover Trump's ass. But, you know, when faced with criminal liability and the potential of jail time, these guys are going to fold like clearance sale lawn chairs. It's as simple as that. They're not going to go down for him. So these people go on Fox News. They lie to Fox's audience because they think they're idiots. They lie to them because they think they're idiots, and they know that they don't go and do any research themselves, so they can get away with it. If I was a Fox News viewer, I would be pretty damn pissed that I was being flat out lied to. Anyway, guys, I will let you know when and if I hear more. Thanks so much for watching and listening. Take care. I'll talk with you soon.